Hello, everyone, and welcome to Bourbon Bites Whiskey Reviews with 80s Twist. I'm your host, Clifton, and welcome to another Thursday night live stream. So, any stream involving Elijah Craig Barrel Proof is going to be one of my favorite streams, so we'll get that out of the way right now. But I actually just got the brand new batch of Elijah Craig Barrel Proof A125. Now, this is the first release of 2025 from the Heaven Hill Distillery. This one's coming in at 118.2 proof, 10 years, 7 months. As you can tell, I've enjoyed it quite a bit since I got it like a week ago. But I thought it'd be fun to go in and compare this to my favorite batch from last year, which is surprisingly A124. So this one when I did it blind came out on top. This one's very, very similar. So if you look, this one is 119 proof, 10 years, 9 months. Yeah, so it's literally within one proof point and within 2 months of difference. So I thought it'd be fun to compare and see which one I actually like better. I also have a couple of different single barrels that are the same age with a 10-year age statement. So we're going to try those after and kind of see, do these batches hold up or the single barrels better? So 3 of these are brand new bottles. I'm so excited to crack them tonight and open them. I had to get a replacement of my A124 because I finished it last year. So this is a brand new bottle of the 24. Again, the 25 I just got. Yes, I drank quite a bit of it, but you know, I've enjoyed it. But yes, let's say hello to a few folks here in the chat. Taste and Sensibility, we see Doug's here. Sean is here. Good to see you. M's here and Zopher. Cheers, y'all. Thanks for showing up early. I actually was trying to quickly update my end card on Patreon, but my problem is my Premiere had to be like reformatted because I did a software update. So I'm like, there's no way I can do this in time without being like incredibly late. So I'm gonna see if I can multitask at some point and see if I can update it during the stream tonight. That way we can give credit to our newest Patreon members because we do have a few that have joined very, very recently. So gotta give shout outs where shout outs are due. But I wanted to start off with something to set my palate. Again, I've been doing a bit of a dry week for the past 3 days. So having my first pour, this is Remus Repeal Reserve. Comes in at 101 proof. I didn't want to blow my palate with the cast strength whiskey like right off the bat. I was a little bit terrified to do that, but I wanted to kind of work my way up to cast strength Elijah Craig, which is one of my favorites. Let's see. Oh, did I like glitch for a second? Did y'all see that? Don't tell me Stringer is giving me issues already. We just started. What's up, Fred? How's it going? Matthew Park, speaking of new patrons, Matthew is one of the newest patrons here on the channel. Cheers to you, Matthew. Yeah, I'm so excited. So I haven't poured any of these yet. I'm gonna go ahead and get the A124 and the A125 poured. That way they have a minute to open up before. That way I can compare them fairly. I do appreciate when a whiskey opens up. Because I notice like a lot of times when I'm doing a full flight and I come back, the nose especially changes it quite a bit. So we'll give these a moment to open up here a bit. Did glitch. Yeah, I noticed Perry's stream was glitching a little bit tonight, so I wonder if it's a StreamYard issue. Although I'm not sure if he uses StreamYard, so it may not even be. Maybe it's a YouTube issue. Who knows? Okay, so both of those are poured, and I'll just set this over here so I don't forget which one is which, because I have a habit of doing that. But yeah, so if you don't know, Elijah Craig Barrel Proof is a cast strength release from Heaven Hill. They put out 3 batches every year. It's the A batch, the B batch, and the C batch. Traditionally, A batch comes out in here. B batch comes out in May, and C batch usually. If you look at the code, A124 stands for January 2024. So that's where that comes from. And some people prefer different batches of year. Some people say that they like the C batches because they feel like they're a lot stronger. But some people say that they like the different batches. So for me, it's A. Did it crash? What the heck is happening? It could be me. It could be because I have shit open. Sorry. um, I'm just trying to do stuff. So If it can give me one, if it does again, let me know, and then I'll close out some caching. What the freak? Okay, hold on. It is a bandwidth thing, Fred. You're totally right there. Let me close out these. I'm sorry to get my end card updated in time. I'm closing out of everything. Should be fixed after I do this. Oh well, that's what I get for trying to multitask. I could have done it if it wasn't for my meddling old computer. It's all good. I need to do a new. I'm gonna do a new PC build. Probably towards the middle of this year. I'm kind of waiting to see. I know some new graphics cards just came out, so I'm kind of like waiting to decide what I do. But I'm really excited to do that. I haven't upgraded this one since 2016, so almost a decade old computer. It's still holding up pretty well, but things like this, trying to do multitasking, doesn't do too well on it. Michael Whiskey Mathin Deer. I can't pronounce that, but welcome, Michael. I'll just call you Michael. Can I call you Michael? Good evening to you as well. Thank you for tuning in. Matthew says no problem for him. Okay, cool. Yeah, I saw it glitch on my end, so we'll just focus on this, not trying to do some editing in the background. So let me finish off my Reams Repro Reserve. Like I said, meddling old computer. It's not old. I mean, at the time I put a lot of money into this. Like, it was my first time ever building a PC from scratch. Was terrified because I was scared I was going to break it. But I got a really nice, for the time, graphics card. It was the GTX 1080 Ti, which I think a lot of people say is like one of the longest lasting graphics cards. I didn't know it at the time. I bought it like right when it first came out, but that thing has lasted me 10 years. And really, most games do well. It's just processor wise, it's starting to show its age for sure. But you know what? We're still here because of this computer, so we must be thankful to it. Please don't pressure me, please. I'm not gonna spill whiskey on it. All right. I forget how good this one is. I reviewed it towards the end of last year, but I don't think it quite made my top of the year. It's good. It has a lot of cinnamon on it. I don't really recall getting that cinnamon last time I had it, but yeah, really good. I could definitely see that being a very good like fall kind of wintry flavor profile. 10 series cards will, yeah. Like I said, I didn't know it at the time, but I'm very grateful I got that one. So I'll do some sizing up the new options whenever it's time to upgrade. But for now, I got to save some money. I'm spending a lot lately, so yeah. All right, shall we get to some Elijah Craig? M says, "Hey y'all, on mobile, so I can only tag as well as spell, so bad tagging, but love all of you. We love you too, M. No worries here. We can probably figure out. I'm good at deciphering typos because I make them all the time, so don't worry about that." All right, let's go ahead and go for the A124. Like I said, this was my favorite batch of last year. I did it in a blind flight. For some reason, A just really stood out to me. I didn't rewatch the video because I didn't want to be influenced by how I felt about it. I was gonna look at when I actually uploaded it though. Let's see how long ago that was, because I didn't want to like be able to, it's like reading. I don't like reading tasting notes when I'm trying a whiskey for the first time. I like coming up with my own and then comparing. Like, I don't mind looking after the fact, but yeah, I don't like doing it before I give it a fair shot. So it looks like I did a stream about 3 months ago where I did all of the batches of Electric Barrel Proof. So that one was on October 3rd. So if you missed that, go check out the replay. It's all there on YouTube. So that's why it's always fun to look back. And like, I do these streams basically every week, right? And like, there's just so much content. Like, it's only an hour a week, but you guys think I've been doing this for 2-something years, almost every week. Like, there's a lot. Like, I could create a streaming channel like on like TVs that just goes on a loop of all my videos, and it'd be constantly playing something new, I feel like. But yeah, it's always fun to go back. Yeah, let's see. Oh, sipping A124. Yeah, let me know what you guys are drinking in the chat. Would love to know if you guys have some Elijah Craig's. If you have something different that you're enjoying, let me know. I'd love to hear about it. Independent Joe in the chat, another great YouTube channel. Cheers to you, Joe. Hope you were doing well. I did a stream with Joe just about a month ago, so it was a lot of fun. You guys go check out his channel. Gotta represent with our SoCal whiskey people. All right, A124. Let's give it a nose. Maybe I'm just thinking about cinnamon because that Remus was reminding me quite a bit of cinnamon, but it's got a it's weird to say it's got a heftiness on the nose. Like, it almost feels like it's gonna drink thick. Like, I know it's not, but it kind of has like what you like when you smell like a honey or like a syrup. It has like this really deep, rich nose. So I feel like I would think I'm going in for like some molasses here. Let me just do a quick nose on the A125, which is the newest one. Okay, just want to like make sure they were opened up quite the same. I would say so. I don't want to do a comparison yet. We'll get to that in a minute. But if you missed the top of the stream, A124 is coming in at 119 proof. A125 is coming in at 118.2. So zero point 0.8 proof points apart, 2 months apart in terms of the oldest whiskey that's in, or the youngest whiskey that's in here. So these are going to be very, very close, I imagine. I'm very excited to see what the difference is. Squirrely T's in the chat. Evening all. I'm trying ECBP C923 versus B524. Nice. Awesome. Let me know how that is. I know some people prefer different batches. I always go to A or B usually, but C, some people have some really strong opinions about C. Matthew just had some A124 last night. Very good. Buttery vanilla oaky. What more could you ask for in a bourbon? Rich indeed. Tom's here. Tom, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for tuning in. Yes, good to see you as well. And Joseph, of course. What are we doing here? We don't even know. So let's go in for a taste of the A124. I'm loving the nose. It's very classic Elijah Craig, which I think, thinking back on that live stream, I feel like that's why this stood out to me. It reminds me of what I loved about Elijah Craig Barrel Proof in the past few years. I've been drinking this stuff since probably, I think 2017, I probably had my first one, but I didn't buy every batch back then. I had it in 2017, and then the one that really sold me was C918. That was like, I still have some backup bottles of that in my collection, but that was the one that really sold me on the brand, the label, and I've been pretty much buying every batch since then. Now, thankfully, over the years, Heaven Hill has noticed my passion for this whiskey, so they've actually provided bottles for review. So of this whiskey and some other Heaven Hill whiskey. So very, very thankful. This bottle of A125 was brought to you by Heaven Hill. But I did finish my A124, so I went to the store yesterday and grabbed another bottle. So I do. If I wasn't sent it, I would be buying it anyways because it's one of my favorite bourbons. People know. Joe says B520 is bomb. Nice. Joseph says my favorite, B517, C917, C918, B520, and C923. Nice. I think someone else's favorite was C917. Was it, Todd, was it your favorite? I feel like I remember you saying that because I know Perry and I stuck on C918 for a long time, but you or someone else had the C917 that you said even beats it, which I don't think I had that one. I had the A117. That was my very first one. All right, back to the A124. No, I say back to it, but I didn't taste it, did I? Because that's hot. Wow. Okay. We're already into the tasting round, guys. Man, that is such a drastic jump from that 101 proof Remus to 119 proof Elijah Craig. You wouldn't think so. Like, it's only like, 18 proof points, but what a difference that makes. This is so thick and viscous, like I thought. Based on the nose, now it's not like honey, it's not like syrup, but it does have a really nice mouthfeel, really oily, really like coats the mouth and lingers. It kind of slowly comes off the cheeks a bit. So I love that about it. I think that's why it stood out to me because it is that classic, just the classic standard. I mean, I hate to say classic standard profile, but it's what I love. I love when a brand identifies itself by its flavor profile, and I think Elijah Craig or Heaven Hell in general does that. Same thing we think about some other ones like Jim Beam that has like a bit of a nuttiness. MGP has some characteristics. I don't know how to describe MGP. I think it has like a little bit of like a. I think I always think of MGP as like having a like bit of like an orange zest kind of thing going on. I can't remember exactly, but that's kind of what I think. When I was trying to practice for like Matt Madness and things, that was always my thought. But I had to go for a second sip because I was not expecting this to be so hot. Let's try it again. Todd says C917 is his favorite, and Whiskey Bear is right. He actually did sell me my first ECBP. Yeah, no, you were right. That was A117. I think it may have been A118, honestly, because I didn't move out here till March of 2018. So it could have been A118 was my first one. We met in the parking lot of a liquor store. This random guy that I'd never met before. But I think had we met at that point? I don't think we had met. I think that was the first time meeting you. Anyways, yeah, showed up at the liquor store parking lot and this guy gave me a bottle. So that was pretty cool. All right, so loving A124. It has a little bit of a there's an earthiness to it that I feel like isn't always on Elijah Craig. it kind of reminds me of some of the really older um, George Dickel single barrels, and not don't think I'm gonna say it's like Flintstones vitamin. So I haven't had Dickel on the channel a long time. I had to make sure I said that clearly. Haven't had Dickel on the channel in a long time, but I do enjoy some older releases from them. They have like this mineral, not like the mineral thing that people don't like. The older and the higher proof releases have like a dark note, almost earthy with it. This has a little bit of that on the nose, but not so much on the palate. Im says you started this chaos. I mean, I was drinking whiskey before, but I hadn't quite ventured into cast strength at the time. It may have been my first cast strength whiskey. No, that's not true. I think at Knob Creek, well, it's not cast strength, but Knob Creek Store Pick was my first high proof whiskey, and y'all know I'm still stuck on it. So, ditto on the orange for MGP. Also, stone fruit when it's 7 to 9 years. Graham when it's older, like 13. Dickel. Yeah, I just made sure I had to clarify that. But yeah, you know what? I haven't had. Has Dickel done any new releases? I'd love to give it another try something new. But yeah, I don't know if I've not heard any news from Dickel lately. So let me know if there's something new you guys want me to try. As always, if you guys have recommendations for things you want to hear my opinion on or want me to try, one, just let me know, especially on our Discord community. If you're not yet a member, why not? There's a link down there. We are very active. We chat about all things whiskey and everything else in life. We have pet photos, cute pet photos, hobby photos, me randomly asking health questions like, what is a root canal and what can I prepare myself for? All that is to be found on the Bourbon Bites Discord server. So check it out in the description below. You'll also find our Patreon info where you can support the channel for as little as $2 a month. Patreon gets you access to some exclusive content, especially things like our monthly movie night at the $5 tier where we watch 80s movies together. Last month we did for January, what did we watch? Oh, shoot, I forget. What did we watch in January? Oh, was it The History of the World Part 1? Was that in January? Maybe. I think so. So we watched that in January. February is going to have to be a romance or rom-com from the 80s. So if y'all have suggestions, start leaving them on Discord now. And we'll do that some Friday night this upcoming month. We're still in January, guys. What the actual hell? How has January lasted like 64 months? Like, I feel like I've been sitting in this month for ages. So, thankfully, after tomorrow, it will be February. Time to get this year moving on. Uh-oh, Fred's not loving the A125. Okay. Well, I have not had my sip yet, but I do have it poured. Heaven's Door works with Dickel whiskey pretty well. Nice. I did have their red breast one, but that was years ago. Actually, I think I just recently finished it. See Dickel 15 for 50, 60, and 17 year for much more. That's true. I think that single barrel, especially that 13 to 15-year-old single barrel that came out, really incredibly well priced, especially the higher proof ones. If you like it, like absolutely a steal of a price. But yes, the 17-plus-year-old ones, for some reason, they're like, no, it's 2 years older. Let's charge over $100 for it. It's crazy. Bull Durham. I'm not familiar with that one, so I'll definitely check it out. Thank you, Joe, for dropping the Patreon info. Appreciate you, man. Let's move on to the A125. This is, like I said, the newest release, January 2025. My first new whiskey of the year, surprisingly. My first new 2025 release whiskey that I've bought this year. There we go. But I'm very excited to see, is this the intro to what we should expect from 2025 whiskey? I don't know. We have some opinions in the chat. Let me go and give it a nose. Okay, definitely not as strong on the nose as the A124. To me, that one jumped out of the glass with that cinnamon, that like hefty kind of like thick, rich, almost creamy nose, which is weird to say like creamy with nose, but it's like it doesn't necessarily smell creamy, but it smells like you would expect it to taste that way. That's kind of what I'm going for there. This one, a little more subtle, a little more oak, actually. This one's less sweet and a little more oak forward, which could be a good thing. Y'all know I love an oaky bourbon. Yeah, but not too much out of the glass. And this is only 0.8 proof points lower than the A124. So it's not a proof thing. It's definitely not that. I mean, it's so close. But these are reported at the exact same time. Very different notes. I mean, they are a batched product, right? They go for different flavor profiles every time, or supposedly the A's are supposed to be a similar flavor profile. I don't know. I only have the info they provide, and they don't mention anything about like A batches taste like this, B batches taste like this, and C tastes like this. but people have started speculating in the community. So who knows? But let's go for a taste of A125. Cheers. Mm. It's strong on the palate. I mean, definitely shows its proof. Pretty similar. It doesn't drink hotter or less hot than the A124. Maybe it definitely sticks around a lot less. Like I feel like when I drink it, it doesn't feel as like viscous. Like I said, it doesn't like stick around, but it also doesn't really have much of a finish. Now I maybe this is only my second sip of it, but yeah, it kind of like dissipated pretty quickly. It's a good flavor. It's definitely the flavor that I come to expect with these releases. This one is leaning a little bit more towards the oak, which I do typically enjoy. Um, a little less sweet and a little more savory. Let me go for one more sip. Hmm. Yeah, it's like oak, but it's like kind of dry. It doesn't kind of leave me with that honey kind of like rich, creamy flavor that I got from the 124. It's a very good flavor. It's a little astringent. It feels thin on the palate, but it's not. It's high proof. It feels a little bit thin. Um, I mean, the flavor is great, but the finish just isn't there. I'll go back to the A124. I'll rinse my palate. But for me, first impression, I think I prefer the one from last year. Joseph said, I'm thinking St. Elmo's Fire for the next movie. So much brat package. I don't know what that means. I assume we're not talking about the same brat because I'm I'm a different generation than you. I'm thinking Brat Summer. Many of those Dickel 15, yes, they are a lot older. The Red Label 17 years a joke. That's kind of how I feel too. Oh, thank you, Joe. Yes, you can go to that, or you can go to bourbonbites.com. It takes you to the same thing. It has a link to my podcast that I did a couple of years back. It's been a while. Some people want me to start the podcast again. Did you guys like the podcast? I would consider it. I just gotta get my find. I basically started a new role in my position in my company about 2 weeks ago. So I kind of want to see how I fit into that before I make commitments to like starting new content for the channel. But there's a chance I might have some more time to dedicate to this. So we'll see. We'll just find out. But it's just me. But rom-com wasn't a strong genre in the 80s. I said gender. But okay, a strong genre in the 80s. Okay, well we can just do romance. I just said rom-com because I'm thinking like I think 90s and 2000s were really popular for those. But yeah, wait, I leave it to y'all. Fred said agrees on the A125, thin, dry, flat, also nutty, lacking that bakery note or additional sweetness. Fred, you're right there with me. I mean, you look for the same flavor notes I do on this one. Doesn't quite hold up. Now, Fred, do you have A124? I can't remember if you said you had that one. I'd love to know your thoughts because to me, this is right up classic Elijah Craig flavor. The 24 is like, that's why I bought another one. I was like, this is why it was my favorite one last year. It reminds me of, now, do I think it's as good as some of the older releases? Probably not. But for a 10-year version of it, not much more. The price of this, I mean, these really are still relatively affordable. Like I will say these single barrel picks they were discounted for $70, which I think is a fair price. The batch I think was 80. I think I remember it's like maybe 90. Like that's up there, but I think it's a fair price for a 10-year-old cast strength bourbon. Let me have another sip of the A124 just to confirm my first impressions on the 25. Yeah, nose is definitely a lot sweeter on the A124. Less of the oak, more of the sweet honey, creamy kind of thing. Let's go. Oh yeah, that I mean, to me it's a drastic difference. This one just has so much character, and it's a fresh crack. Remember, this is my A124. Usually, I mean, not usually. Accuse me. Sometimes I get accused of like, well, you've had that bottle open for a year, like it's gonna taste different. This one was just bought literally yesterday. And then, like I said, the A125 just came in last week. So these are both relatively fresh cracks. So I'm very happy with it. I'm happy with both releases, but I don't think this beats A124 from last year. Now we'll see once I have all three batches of 2025. Y'all know I love doing a blind flight of all of them and doing a ranking and find out which one's my favorite. One of my absolute favorite streams of the year. So maybe I will hold on to this A124 and throw it in the mix. It's like a wild card. I feel like that should mix things up a little bit. I like the 25, just not nearly as much as the 24. And Harry Met Sally, Pretty in Pink. Oh, good choices, good choices. Actually, Pretty in Pink's been on my like. I've done polls for patrons frequently for movie night. That one's never quite made it to the top, but that one's always scored like either second or third place when I have it on the list. So some people really don't like it, but I feel like some people recurringly like it. So I'm down for that. If wait, did we watch Pretty in Pink? Is that the one we watched already? Zopher said already saw it. Maybe I'm getting confused with something else. I'm thinking of the Marilyn Monroe one. But that's probably much older than the 80s. Did we watch Pretty in Pink? We probably did, right? I forget. I forget. Howard the Duck, the first interspecies. Oh, what? I've heard of this, but like that description does not sound like what I thought it was. Ooh, what is? I recognize the character, but ew. Okay, maybe. We saw it. You're thinking 16 Candles. No, no, we did see 16 can. I mean, we didn't watch 16 Candles as a group. I've seen that before, but I guess we did watch Pretty in Pink. I just was forgetting that we did. Um, so sorry about that. Not Howard the Duck. Okay. Okay, y'all aren't gonna take over this chat like y'all did Perry's. We're not gonna have this conversation here. I'm shutting that down. I'll shut it down with some more electric egg barrel proof. All right. So that's my consensus on the A124 versus A125. However, we got some more whiskeys to drink. We have two single barrel private selects of electric egg barrel proof coming in at 10 years old. Now these are different proofs for sure from what we've been drinking. They're both from K&L Wine and Spirits, which is my local, uh, my favorite whiskey store nearby me. This one is called Sylvia's Mellow Meditation. And the next one is called, well, I guess I'll talk about this one a little bit more. 10 years old, 122.7 proof. I think these are both picks from last year, if I remember correctly. Doesn't have, I mean, there's no like dates or anything on it, so I don't know exactly when this was picked. But I do know I've never tried this. So I just opened it right before the stream. So let's see how it stands up to these batch releases. All right, there's Sylvia's batch. No, Sylvia's Mellow Meditation. Apologies. And the next up is the highest proof we're going to be drinking tonight, which is My Dusty Road. Now, I don't know the story behind these. I was not on these picks, unfortunately. But this was coming at 128.2, which is a big jump up from what we've been drinking. Also 10 years old. Every one of these Elijah Craigs are 10 years old this year. So, or not this year, this stream. 10 years seems to be like the sticking thing. They kind of have hovered around that, especially for, the batches. I think I usually see 10 years and so months. Sometimes they're older, like 11. Sometimes I see the 13, of course, like the 923, I think that was. That was the 13-year one that everyone went crazy for. But typically, it's right around the 10 to 11-year-old mark, which I'm okay with. Do I miss the 12-year-olds? Yes. Oh, I breathed in and burped at the same time after drinking a high-proof whiskey. That wasn't fun, but we're okay. Need to rinse real quick. Wasn't expecting that. It's like you breathe and you cough and like you burp like all at the same time, just it all like bleh. We're good. Whew, that burned a lot. But we're good. We're back. Tony's here. What's up, Tony? Good to see you. Michael says, I love K&L. I order from the San Francisco and Redwood City locations. Reasonable prices, and they deliver for $20, so I don't have to cross two bridges, $8 tolls, and drive in past San Francisco. Yeah, I mean, damn, especially if we're paying $8 in tolls, like, might as well pay $20 for shipping, absolutely. I don't know if it's fortunate or unfortunate, but I have a K&L between my home and my work. So 5 minutes down the road is K&L from home, and then 5 minutes down the road from work is K&L. So I'm very fortunate, but I also spend a lot of money on that. And mine's the Culver City location. Used to shop in the Hollywood location, but now that I'm down in the Marina area, I was reading Joseph's comment. I visit the Culver City K&L, which apparently they do spirits tastings. The Hollywood one doesn't do spirits tasting, so I'm excited to maybe start going to some of those. Joseph said among all these later ECBPs that are under 12 years, almost all of them, it's interesting that the best release by far is over 13. That's true. But we're going to try 2 different 10 years now. We're going to see how they stand up against these batches. Again, I'm sure there's a story behind them. I don't want to influence myself based on who picked them or whatever. I just know they're both K&L picks. So let's go for a nose of Sylvia's Mellow Meditation. Okay, definitely sweet, kind of similar to what the A124 was. Yeah, similar nose to that one. Um, it's definitely the ethanol is coming off. And this is only a little bit higher proof. This was 122.7. But you can feel the ethanol coming a bit off of this one compared to the other ones. I don't think I got that influence. A little bit of I said cinnamon on the A124. This one is a different kind of sweetness. It's not like cinnamon sugar. It's more of, I kind of want to say clove, but like a citrusy, like like sometimes when you get an old fashioned, they put the cloves in the orange slice and they like light it on fire a bit. That's a little bit of theatrics. I love it though. Kind of does remind me of that. I don't know if it's orange or the clove, but it's coming in a little bit more of like a spiced cocktail kind of thing on the nose, which is always a good thing for me. A lot of times I'll drink electric barrel proof on the rocks. Like I'll have like a big ice cube. Usually enjoy it that way. But sometimes I enjoy it neat. I'm still recovering from that. What do we call that? Cough, burp, breath, laugh. Blah. Let's just call it that. I think I'm okay now. All right. Let's go for a taste of Sylvia. Okay. I like the flavor profile. Finish is medium, not long, but definitely longer than the A125. The bite doesn't get you on the palate, surprisingly. On the nose, I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be hot." The palate honestly drinks lower proof than. Let me just revisit this and make sure I'm not just influenced by the fact I'm on my third whiskey. No, those still drink. They tingle. This one, wow, that one is so much like. It's the more and more I drink that I get so much more of a Dickel nose on that, or a palate on that. That's crazy. I've never gotten that on Elijah Craig, but it's not the bad Dickel. It's the good Dickel. There's a difference. This one doesn't have that. That was the one I was drinking earlier that had that palate. I love the taste of this. I think flavor wise, I mean, it's definitely unique. Probably one of my favorite. I mean, of the 3 tonight that I've had so far, I like the palate of that one a lot better than both the A124 and A125. The only thing it does is it falls flat on the finish. Like I said, medium finish. It doesn't have the the viscosity that the A124 had. So, I mean, I think those two are close. I think this would probably be my second place so far tonight. But it's good. I just kind of wish it had a little bit more character to it. But man, for $70, all day, every day, I'll buy that. I might buy a backup as well. Michael said, I'm wondering if the bourbon barrel glut will allow us to get ECBP over 12 years again in the near future. I haven't heard if Heaven Hill is suffering like MGP and Brown Foreman. Oh, like because I have like more bourbon, more whiskey to go through. I mean, Heaven Hill makes a crap ton of bourbon just in general, or whiskey. I mean, they do a lot of brands that are cheaper brands and definitely lower proof, definitely lower aged. I'm sure they have plenty of whiskey aging. I noticed that didn't we see that there was going to be a? Oh no, that was Knob Creek 21, right? Didn't someone say that in my Discord recently? There's gonna be like a 21-year-old Knob Creek. I think they're going too far there. But I would love to see, there's that range that we're kind of missing out on, right? Especially with Elijah Craig. There's like the 12-year, which is used to be the standard, and then they skip to the 18-year. So occasionally you'll get a batch that's like 13 years old or a single barrel. But like there's that 5-year period in there that I feel like they're not releasing. So like I'm wondering, will we ever see like a 15-year-old Elijah Craig? I could get behind that for sure. So I'm curious. I think that would be interesting to see what they're doing. Like, are they hoping that everything older than 12 years old is going to end up in an Elijah Craig 18 and blow our socks off and be worth that price, even though that is a single barrel release. And I don't, if I remember correctly, Legendary 18 is not cast strength. Am I misremembering that? Maybe I'm misremembering that, but maybe that's a big gamble when you could release this stuff at 12 years old and have an incredible whiskey like we're drinking here tonight. I'm curious. Zora said I stay away from whiskey a few days and I lose my barrel proof feet. Maybe I think it's fine. I think I just swallowed it the wrong way and coughed and all that stuff. So Fred says A121 is so much better than 25. Oh, I don't even have a bottle of that left. So good to know. Knob Creek 21, don't tempt me with a good time. Listen, I do love my Knob Creek 18, which is the one I have sitting up there. I do love it. Now, it was pretty pricey. I mean, it was like 220, I think, which is pricey, but I feel like I like it. So, like, it wasn't like a waste of money. The 15 I didn't like. I think that was a waste of money. But the 21, I'd buy it. I'd buy it once. Unless it's like 400. Like, if it's like under, if it's like 250, yes. If it's over that, I would definitely have to second guess it. I would hope it'd be a high proof. I mean, it's probably going to be 100 like all their other releases, but. Tried my 34-year-old Hazmat bottle the other night, and it was amazing. 34-year-old, wait, what? Which whiskey? That sounds incredible, but also, like, awesome. Doug says Heaven Hill fills up 1,500 barrels a day at their normal rate. Knob Creek 18 here is 180, which I think is fair. Yeah, I think I paid like 220 when it first came out. I was gonna, because I wanted to review it for the channel. Yeah, I like that single barrel. But let me go to the other one. This is the also the 10-year one, the My Dusty Road at 128.2 proof. So we're jumping up quite a bit in proof. Same age though. Oh, that one's a different kind of sweetness. They're all sweet, but in such a different way. The first one was more of the traditional like bakery note. The second one was like an oaky kind of sweet. The third one was, like I said, a little bit of that. Shoot, I already forgot what I said about the third one. Going back to it kind of reminds me of like a peanut brittle, which I do enjoy that. This one smells, weirdly enough, it smells old. It has that dusty quality. Wait, wasn't it called Dusty Road? What was it called? My Dusty Road. Interesting. Again, I don't know why this was called that, but my first instinct was it reminded me of some vintage bourbon. Sometimes they have that, I always say like grandma's attic note or like a cedar chest kind of note. I always associate that with like a vintage tasting note. Not necessarily that it's old, but it's just a characteristic that I associate with that. Just like imagine opening like a dusty attic and you're breathing like the wood, like the raw wood, and like a little bit of the must, or not must, yeah, that's not good. But you know what I'm saying, like, or like opening an old book in the library, like the puff of dust comes up, kind of like that. Old library in general. It's like an old building. Like, you know when you go in a historic building, sometimes they have a very familiar smell. This one's giving me that, which is weird. Never got that on Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, but I'm here for it. Oh, 90 proof, National Barrel Company, off-profile Canadian. Nice, Joe. 34 years. Wow. The only one I've had the JP. I was gonna say JP Morgan, JP Weiser. Is that what it is? JP Weiser, JW Weiser, whatever it is. That Canadian one. I've had the 34. Was that a 34 as well? I had the 21 cast strength. 24. We need Donald Rants in the chat. But JP Weisers, there we go. Saw that one. Glad to hear it's good. I passed as I already have something comparable, but way cheaper from Cat's Eye. Gotcha. I will say the nose on this, it's not giving Heaven Hill, and that might be a very good thing. Let's give it a try. Cheers. That proof gets you. It is up there. Oh, wow. That dusty vintage character sticks around. Huh, I almost want to... I want to go, like, I feel like, watch them just be, like, naming after their friend Dusty. And they're like, this has nothing to do with the flavor profile. But if it does have to do with the flavor profile, I absolutely get that. I'm gonna see, I was gonna pull up. They have no description of it here at all. I just know, like, the proof of it and, like, the barrel number, but, like, wow, I wish I knew the story on this one because that is such a good flavor. Very, very different than what I'm used to. Oh, EC18 was 90 proof. Got you. Okay. Yeah, see, like, I think the Knob Creek 18 was 100 proof. I think that's where this confusion is. This is delicious. Like, is this the favorite Elijah Craig single barrel I've ever had? I don't know if I want to say that yet, but hold on. Yeah, it does have a little bit of that earthy quality that I associate with A24, but I like A124. This is interesting. Oh man, I don't think I've had a single barrel pick from Elijah Craig that's been that complex. I'm really enjoying that one. So much so that I'm like, do I buy a back bottle? Let me fill it out for the weekend. Let me see how I come back to it and see if I feel the same way. I will say they do have plenty of it in stock at $69.99 if you can order from K&L Wine and Spirits and you're curious. I'll drop a link here in the chat. Again, they ship quite a few places, but not telling y'all to buy it. I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't tell y'all to buy something if it's like not good. I also have no connection to this. Like, I don't get any. It's not like it's my pick and I'm trying to sell you on it. It's not. It's good though. It's really interesting. Dusty is a great descriptor of it. Hmm. Yeah, I enjoy that quite a lot. It does go a little cinnamon. I kind of got cinnamon on A120. This one is the closest to A124. I mean, let me rinse my palate real quick. This one's a lot higher proof. This is 10 proof points higher. But the flavor profile is pretty similar. Yeah. I think the A124 is a lot more well-rounded. It's a little mellowed out. I feel like they blended in some, maybe older whiskey that kind of balanced it out. Obviously not younger whiskey, but definitely has more like character, longer finish for sure on the A124. But this single barrel is really close to the flavor profile. So if you like A124, definitely check out this, My Dusty Road. It's very different from A125. If you like A125, I've not quite found anything like it. Not my jam, but we'll do it in a blind and we'll see if it is the best one this year. I might change my opinion in 12 months. I mean, we got a long way to go. Like I said, we've been in January for like 64 years, so like who knows if we'll ever get to February. But Brandon's here. What's up? No worries being late. Brandon's going to be joining me for a live stream, not this Saturday, but next Saturday. If y'all have any ideas for what you guys want to see us do for the stream, let us know. We've done everything from like blinding each other for a flight, having our spouses blind us, to a themed flight. So we're totally open for suggestions, what you guys want. So let us know. Well, that kind of wraps up like what I wanted to do tonight. I feel very intrigued by one, probably having one of the best single barrel picks of Elijah Craig Barrel Proof I've ever had. But also too, seeing that A124, even though it was my favorite last year, it still holds strong against the first release of 2025. So we'll see. We'll see what the B batch and the C batch this year have to put out. Again, I think they're all worth. For me, my flavor profile, I absolutely recommend buying them all, trying them all. Listen, it's a whiskey you can sit and you can sip on for a long time. These typically last me a while, unless unless I get in the mood for it, then I'll drink it. But yeah, I'm a big fan. I think some are better than others. Of course, people think the vintage ones are better. Sure, probably. But Fred says A125 has improved some with air, gained some cinnamon and floral, but still thin and not great. Yeah, totally fair. Yeah, I'll go back to mine real quick. I was gonna say, like, what can I have some more time? I don't know. Y'all don't want to keep seeing me yapping. I could pull out another Elijah Craig. I do have quite a few over there, but I don't need to. I don't know. If you guys want to see me talk for 15 more minutes, we will. I don't have an empty glass though, so I'll have to finish one of these. So going by the A125, you said floral. Yeah, I mean that's kind of what was I saying? It was oaky, but to me it's more perfumey than floral. Like it's almost like not like a natural like floral. Cause like sometimes I like people say like a white flower note, which I feel like I get that, like a white daisy or something. I get that note, but I feel like this is like you made at Bath and Body Works. Spray out of it. Whiskey Pokemon is Cliffy like Craig. Pretty much, I gotta collect them all. Adam says he'll be drinking C919 if I have that one. I don't, unfortunately. I think the oldest one. Let me see if I have any other A batches though. I mean, since we did call this the Battle of the A's, shall I look to see if I have an A batch? Let me know. Oh, I'm not gonna say let me know. I'm gonna go look. If I have another A, we'll drink it. Let's see. C924, B524. Oh, another single barrel. Sorry. B522. C918. C918. A122. Oh, we have another A. I'm gonna read both of these. We have another A batch. I found A1. I don't know if you guys can hear me back there, but I have an A122 from 2022. This has been sitting there for a while, but this one's 120.8 proof. Now this is back when they were 12 years, so this one is 12 years old, non-chill filtered. So I'm curious to see how this older, like several years, going back 4 years now, compares. Brandon said, have you picked up any toasted ECBP picks? I have not, because I've not seen them. I saw that like one store somewhere not near me had a pick of it, and I would absolutely buy it. But none of the stores in my area. I thought maybe eventually they would get here because they're popping up slowly, but I've not. I would absolutely love to try that. So if anyone has had that, let me know. One, let me know how it is. Two, let me know where you got it. Three, if I can't get it, I would love a sample of it. Hit me up. I'll exchange samples with you to get that. Fred has a Kroger 10-year, 121.1. If you grab all the A batches once you leave a big A-hole in yourself. I love it. I love it. I should put these on the line. Then I would have a giant A-hole. All right, let me finish. I have a dump glass. Let me just dump this one. Oh, Squirrely T can get me a sample. Okay, well, Todd, you know where to find me. Literally. You have my address. Yeah, I would love to try that, Todd. All right, A122. I'll make it all the way here now, without spilling. I spilled that one. It's all good. Joe said try Mission for ECBP toasted. Really? Do they have a? Oh, you know what? That's what I'm thinking. You know, that's actually where I saw it. Someone said that, but the problem is, I don't live near a Mission anymore. Toasted. I think you're right. But I used to live right down the road from one, but like now I'm like getting that would be kind of difficult. I have to go up to the valley. Like, I know, like, oh, boo-hoo, he has to go into the valley, but okay, you're right. Mission does have one. They have it at the warehouse location, Woodland Hills, Glendale. It's just like, is it worth the journey? It is, I know, and I could probably ship free shipping over 300, but like I don't buy unless I like restock my entire bar, like all my mixtures and stuff. Maybe. They're in LA as well. Yeah, so I think the only store they have here, they have Glendale, Sherman Oaks, Woodland Hills, and Glendale. 2 Glendale stores. They've been good, but that's starting to push it. All right, this is the A121 from 4 years ago. Let's see how it compares to. Sorry, A122. Apologies. A122 from 3 years ago. I like the nose. This one's definitely more of like a maple syrup. A little bit of like cedar, like not like the vintage note that we got on the dusty one, but more of like cedar wood. Yeah, like maple cedar. That's a really interesting combination. I think I'll go for a taste. Cheers. That one's really good too. I'm curious to see if I don't think I did a comparison that year. I'm looking. I see that year I compared it to. I did a review of it by itself. Then I compared it to B522. I don't know if I did a multiple. Oh wait, yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. Do I have my answers ready to see? Probably not. I'm just curious if this one happened to win. Oh no, this one didn't win this year. The B batch of 2022 actually won. So I was just curious if it happened to win as well. Mission one is 100. Yeah, yeah. I mean, Brandon, if you want me to add one to my order, that's up to $200. I mean, I can definitely make up that extra 100 if you want to get the shipping. Let me know if you want me to get that before you come up next weekend. I'll grab you one, and then we'll be almost to the free shipping free shipping goal. No, that's exactly what Fred just said. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Like, oh, you want one, huh? That's all good. Yeah, this A122 is delicious too. I mean, maybe I should have a thing for A batches lately. I think I've just been really gravitating towards that flavor profile. I unfortunately don't have the 23 because then I would have 22, 23, 24, 25. I don't have that one. I definitely killed it. If I killed it, that means I probably enjoyed the hell out of it. So this is really nice. I'm becoming a big fan of the A. So we'll see though. We'll see the B batch. Like I said, the B batch in 2022 blew this away. So I wish I had it so I can still see if I feel the same way. Gary Franchi in the chat. Cheers, man. Hope you're doing well. Awesome. Well, there wasn't a bad pour here tonight. Favorite has to go to the A124, which was last year's A batch. Second favorite goes to the My Dusty Road store pick from K&L. Third place, probably this one, this A122 from 2022. My third place favorite. Fourth place, Sylvia's Mellow Meditation Private Barrel. And then, unfortunately, last place tonight, still good, but not quite my favorite, was the A125 from 2025. So, hopefully this means we can only go uphill from here. So, we'll find out. Fred, if you want to get in on this and get my free shipping, but then you gotta wait on you to be in the area, which hopefully won't be too long. But all right, y'all know where to find me if y'all need to message me or want to message me. I'll be on Discord. I will head over there now. Actually, I know it's like people are joining. I feel so bad, but we do hour streams and then we just hang out for a while. So if you want to get in on our after party, you can join our Patreon. There's a free trial if you're curious to see what it's like. Jump in tonight. Join us. Would love to have you there. Northwest Bourbon's here as well. Cheers. I think y'all are coming at the end. I hate it, but I appreciate y'all tuning in. Again, I want to give a shout out to my newest patrons: B Bauer, the newest Bourbon Terabyte; Matthew Parks, Bourbon Megabyte; DMCKY, y'all know, $2 Bourbon Bit; Mark L, $5 Bourbon Bite; Tony Curtis, $5 Bourbon Bite. So those are the most recent patrons. I know some of those went back to last year, but yeah, appreciate y'all your support no matter what. Thank y'all for watching. Make sure to hit the thumbs up button on the way out. Subscribe if you want to come back. I'll be here next Thursday night. We'll do something fun. Don't know what it is, but we'll do something fun. We'll find out. Cheers, and I'll see y'all in the after party. Otherwise, I'll see the rest of you next week. Bye.